Morning, all
Good
of
morning.
you.
Good
Yeah,
morning, sir.
yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So yesterday we were discussing how search engines function. Correct. So we just try to
Yes.
relate the most common thing that have happened in our life. Correct. So for example, for search engines functionality, we understood few basics like how search engines get the data. Correct. So search engines
Yes.
has front end that which we all are using and we call it as Google search, and search engine has back end as well, and it has a database or a storage which stores all the information pertaining to your queries. Correct. And whenever you query from the front end, and it's going to push the information to you. Correct. And now this information to the Google server is coming from internet server. Google has developed a bot, and this bot goes to the internet server, reads all the information, and gets a copy to Google server. Correct, everybody? Ranking the website on the top. Okay, so to understand that, we have taken example of all of this, right? And we understood yesterday, higher the crawl frequency, better the opportunity to rank on Google search. Correct. And what is this crawl frequency? Crawl frequency is the measure of bot visiting you. The measure of the frequency of bot visiting your website is called as crawl frequency. So frequently bot must be visiting your website. How frequently it's visiting? 10 times a day, or for every half an hour it must be visiting, or every 1 hour, or every 3 hours it must be visiting. So the measure of this frequency of bot visiting your website is called as crawl frequency, and crawl frequency plays a very crucial role to show up your website on Google search results. Correct. It's clear up to here. Correct. So if search
Yes.
engines have to rank your website only on basis of crawl frequency, only on basis of crawl frequency, search engines might fail to show the relevant and up-to-date information. We understood this as well yesterday. Correct. And what is relevant information here? See, now you are searching for buy shoes online. Your query is buy shoes online. Correct. This is your query, and you expect websites like Myntra, Flipkart, Amazon, Zavong to show up on Google search results, and not a blog post from abc.com which is speaking how to buy shoes or where to buy shoes. Correct, everybody? Right? So if search engines have to only consider crawl frequency and rank your website, they might utterly fail. And people started complaining about the search engine, Google search engine, boss, look at this, you're not serving the relevant information to us. You are, you can very well serve highly relevant information. Guys, somebody, there's some disturbance from your side. You can mute it if there's a disturbance. Okay. Okay. So now Google can serve highly relevant information, and that's what people also started complaining a decade back, or 1.5 decade back, or 2 decades back, when Google search engine started, which was in the very initial stage. So Google now told, boss, whatever I'm showing, you are complaining about it. Now I'll leave it to you. Based on your inputs, I'm going to show the results, right? And that's when Google introduced one more metric called CDR, that is called as click through rate, right? So basically, whenever a website is shown on Google, right, digital marketing training in HSR, so this term people must be using 100 times every day from across Bangalore, or maybe from any part of the country, digital marketing training in HSR. And now all these websites, those are showing up here, are eligible for those 100 impressions. Correct. If 100 people are searching on Google, and if 100 times this website is showing up on Google, the number of impressions are 100. Impressions are nothing but the number of times your search result viewed by people. That is called as impression. Is that clear, everybody? What is an impression? It's clear. Impression is nothing but the
Yes.
number of count of the number of people seeing your search result on any platform, and here it is Google search engine. It's counted as impression, and when somebody clicks on it like this, it's counted as a click. And now CTR is measuring the ratio between the clicks and the impressions. The measure of ratio between the clicks and impressions. How is it measured? So now, for example, 100 people are searching buy shoes online, all 100 people are seeing. So for example, let me take this websites only as a measure. Okay, 100 people are seeing 100, and now 20 people have clicked on Mintra, 30 people, okay, I'll put it this way: 30 people, 20 people, 15 people, 10 people, 5 people. How much is this? Okay, whatsoever. And another 20 people are clicking on different results. So now it's always this number divided by 100 into percentage. 30 percentage is the CTR, 5 percentage, 10 percentage, 15 percentage. So it's the measure of the number of people visiting your website against the number of people seen you is called as click through rate. Okay, so to help you understand and remember this better, I'll take one more example. Okay, so let's assume you're walking into an auditorium, you're walking into an auditorium hall. Yeah, are you all following me, everybody? You are walking into an auditorium and hall, and now there are 1,000 people sitting over there, correct, from your college, and all 1,000 people will see you, but not everybody is going to wave hi at you, wave hand at you, correct? Or let's say you are entering into the office which has 100 people sitting, 100 of your colleagues are sitting in the office, correct? And now when you are entering, all 100 people will see you, but not everybody will wave hand at you hi, correct? So now 100 people have seen you, but only 10 people have waved hand at you hi, how are you? Now the response rate for you is 10 divided by 100. That's the response rate. Did you all get that? Now, how do you increase or improve your response rate? Any idea, guys? You are walking into office, 100 people are there in the office, 100 people have seen you, but you have to make sure that most of them are waving hi at you, hand at you. How do you make it happen? What should you be doing in order to do that?
We have to take initiative and
You have to take initiative. Okay, let's wave off that scenario. You are not taking. What kind of initiative you have to take?
we have to wave our hand first rather depending on others.
So if you are nurturing your relationship, if you are having a good bond, if you have a good friendship, and if you are speaking to everyone very jovial, right? So next day when you come to office, everybody would wave hand at you, correct? And now first day when you entered office, only two people have waved hand at you hi, and after a week 20 people are waving hand at you, correct? Your response rate from 2 percentage, it has gone up to 20 percentage. Did you all understand what is a response rate? Now we are not discussing about response rate. That was just an example for you to remember the CTR. CTR is same way. Number of people are going to see your search results on Google, but how many are going to visit your website? It's the measure of ratio of number of people visiting your website against number of people seen you. Correct? How do you make more people to click on this now so that your CTR will improve? Correct? How do you make it? So we have a detailed discussion how to make people click on your search results when there are so many other websites. Let's say you are ranking somewhere here, and still you can make people to click on your search result. That's possible. And how do we make it happen? See, for example, if you are walking into a functional hall, if more people have to see you, what should you be doing? What does a student do in a college campus if more people has to see him? What does he do? Let's take example of a boy. He's getting into the college campus, and his main goal is to grab attention of everybody in the campus. What kind of things he will do? What kind of things he might do in order to grab the attention? Nobody knows. No boys here and no girls observed all this.
So you do any funny things to grab the attention?
Huh? Huh? Huh?
he will do a funny thing to grab the attention.
What kind of funny things? Example?
Any
Any example?
jokes?
Huh?
Any jokes?
Jokes?
So
No.
it depends upon the impression of the person,
See, while
how
getting
nice.
into the campus, he gets into the campus with a bike with a very weird silencer,
Yeah.
weird sound, and to grab the attention, a weird hairstyle. Correct? Wheeling. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Right? And when he is with the crowd, yeah, as you mentioned, maybe Nirup, you know better. Huh? He cracks the jokes and he does so many things, right? So anybody, like it's not about the gender, even woman, man, whatsoever it is. If see, wearing a very nice attire can grab the attention. You always coming in a regular casual clothes and you coming in a traditional clothes would wear the would grab the attention of the people. Correct? See, exactly here in digital marketing, we are going to implement or do such kinds of things to get more visits or more CTR for our web pages. Okay. Anyways, how do we do? How do we improve the CTR? How do we improve the scroll frequency? We have a detailed discussion. For now, let's assign a score in the scale of 1 to 10 for CTR as well. Okay. So now let me put it as 9, 10, 8, 7, 6. Okay. So now tell me which website is going to rank in the top.
Flipkart,
Why Flipkart?
because of maximum clicks.
Okay. So now let's assume your marks in Hindi are 100 out of 100 and in science it is only 50 out of 100. You will be declared as the first rank student just because you got 100 out of 100 in Hindi. Yes or no? Right? Now why should a Flipkart rank in the top now just because CTR is high? And what is the value of this? See, it's going to be an average. Whomsoever are scoring, both are going to be considered. So, whomsoever are scoring highest, they will be ranked in the top. So, now I am calculating average. So, now, oh, 3, 8. So, what I'll do is I'll mark this as 10. Let me delete this. Okay, let me delete this. 10 is there. I'll mark this as 9. Okay. So now tell me who is going to rank in the first position. Who will be ranking in the first position based on this data?
Flipkart,
Yes. In the average, Flipkart scored highest. Second,
Jabong,
Jabong. Third,
Amazon.
fourth,
Yeah.
Intra.
fifth, Tata Steel IQ. Correct? Right? So now see, initially we assumed website will be ranked based on crawl frequency. Correct? So any website that has very good crawl frequency will be ranked in the top is what we initially assumed. Of course, that's how it was. But then people started doing n number of things and this led to irrelevant content showing up on the search results as well. So that's when Google introduced another metric called CTR. CTR is purely based on users interaction. If you see you have searched digital marketing training in HSR and if any result doesn't contain HSR, you're not going to click on it. Correct? See now this doesn't contain HSR. Correct? And you're not going to click on it. If you're not clicking on it, CTR is low, and if CTR is low, automatically the website will fall down as per this math. Correct? Did you all understand up to here? Correct?
Yes.
But unfortunately here what people started doing, so people started writing, I'll show it to you. Wait, look at this example. Buy shoes online. When you type like this, people started writing up to 60 percentage off, up to 70 percentage off, up to 80 percentage off, starts at 199 rupees. You could see that, right? Correct? this will make people to click on it. Correct? Is that correct, guys? Everybody? This will make
Yes,
people
sir.
to click on it, right? But unfortunately, what happens is, see, they are able to grab the attention, but if you go there, you will not see any shoes up to 60% off, or you might see it in out of stock. Correct? See, Google's another main goal. See, one of the two objectives which we have discussed yesterday. One is relevancy, and second is up to date. And third main goal or objective of Google, if they have to sustain, if it has to be used by everybody, Google has to make sure the end user's goal is fulfilled. What is end user's goal? When you are searching buy shoes online, the main goal for you is to purchase the shoes. Correct? That's your final goal. Correct?
Yes, sir.
But
Yes.
now, by seeing 60% off, you have clicked and there is no 60% off, nothing. You will exit, you will close the website and you will come back, correct? And now, when you see what starts at 199, when you visit there, there are no shoes starting at 199 rupees. You will come back, or you will probably see out of stock, or you will not see the size or color that you are looking for, or you might not see the brand that you are looking for, correct? Everybody? So, this is considered to be as an engagement. Engagement is the measure of the purpose fulfilled and the amount of time spent on the website. Amount of time or interaction, the purpose fulfilled. Mainly, engagement is all about the purpose of the end user fulfilled or not. So, user
So
is
the reason to make this 190 rupees 199 is just to make their website on the first,
no.
to rank them
Their
first.
main goal is to improve the CTR. They don't want to be clicking this. Instead, they should click on this. Correct? See, take the offline example. You go to any market outside in the city town, you must have seen people shouting 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 10 rupees, 100 rupees flat, 99, 99. See, why are they doing it? They want everybody to be coming to their store or coming to their cart, correct? Correct, everybody? You must have
Yes,
seen
sir.
people shouting right on the streets. Everybody
Yes.
want to be walking to their cart, correct? Same way here, everybody wants to be clicking on their search results to grab that attention. Here we are measuring it as CTR, correct? Click through rate. To improve the click through rate, they are doing all of these things. There are 100 different things done to improve the CTR. Not only this, there are different things that can be done to improve the CTR. We are going to understand how do we improve that CTR, okay? Correct? And now, see now, if search engine has to rank the website on basis of CTR, people are exploiting this as well, correct? So people are faking this as well, correct? They are simply putting 90% off, but when you go there is no 90% off, correct? You must have experienced this with YouTube videos also, right? They put some thumbnail, when you click on it, inside there is something else, correct? Did you all experience that?
Yes.
Yes.
So exactly, that's what is called as an engagement. See, people are greedy over this metric called click-through rate. They want people to be clicking on it. It's something like he's craving 99 rupees, 99 rupees, 99 rupees, only 100 rupees, 90 rupees. But when you go to the cart, he says 99 rupees, this is the only product available and everything else starts at 300 rupees. Won't you be disappointed?
Yes.
Can that be considered to be as purpose fulfilled? No, your purpose is not fulfilled. You are disappointed. Correct? And what that person has done is completely wrong. Correct? So now something like that would happen here as well. So people are doing that. Correct? So now Google has done, in order to face that, in order to beat that, Google has introduced another metric called as engagement. It's called as engagement. So let's assume in the score of 1 to 10. See, engagement is the measure of end user's purpose fulfilled or not. Okay. So it could be amount of time spent, number of pages explored. Okay. So now your rankings, who will be ranking in the first now? Tell me. Who is going to rank in the first? Huh?
Mintra.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Let's see. Why Mintra? Because it's 10? No. Again here average. 9 plus 5, 14. 14 plus 10, 24. 24 divided by 3 is 8. Let's calculate 10 plus 9, 19, 19 plus 9, 28, 28 divided by 3, 9.3 is the average. Amazon 8, 8, 16, 16 plus 8, 24, 24 is again 8, correct? Ten plus 14 plus 10, 24, again this is also leading to 8. So what I'll do is I'll interchange some metrics, maybe 7 here, 8 here. This is going to be 7.6. Okay, 18 plus 7, 25, 25 is 8.3. Are you all understanding how I am calculating it? 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 6, 13 plus 6 is 19, 19 is 6.6. Okay, now tell me who is going to rank in the first position as per this?
Cut.
Yes.
6
Average of 3. First position will be for Flipkart. Who is going to rank in the second position?
Wrong.
Jabong. Third,
Amazon.
sorry, Mintra.
Amazon.
Mintra.
Mintra.
Fourth is
Fourth,
Amazon,
Amazon.
and fifth is Tata CL like you. Okay. So now from this, what you understood is crawl frequency is making your website eligible to show up on the Google somewhere, but crawl frequency is not really bringing your website in the top. It's something like this. So the cutoff marks. So let's say you are attending the on-campus interview at your college. Some companies must have come to hire people, correct? Candidates, correct? So now there will be a cutoff marks set. See, cutoff marks 80%, 90% is just making you eligible, but that's not assuring you the job, correct? Everybody? Exactly the same happens here as well. So crawl frequency is just letting you to show up on Google search results somewhere, not necessarily in the top. Somewhere, let's say here, 20 position, 30 position, or some position. And what is, see, basically crawl frequency is making your website show up on the Google, and when it is higher, it shows up in the bottom of the first page. First page will show 10 results. First page, bottom of the first page, or closer to the first page. CTR is what is making it to move to the top. When more and more people are clicking on your website, automatically it starts moving up. Now, just because more people are clicking, it's not going to stay in the top. It might move to the top, but it doesn't stay in the top until unless it's performed. Say, let's assume you are made CEO of Infosys. Whether you are going to be in that position or not is decided by your performance in that position, correct? Correct? If you're not performing, if you're not really contributing, you will be brought down, correct? Same way here, CTR will make your website move to the top, but CTR is not going to assure you the top position. Engagement engagement is what is going to retain you in the top. If engagement is not good, see now they have simply put 60% off to improve the CTR, but engagement is bad. If they are not providing anything at 60% off, and if it is out of stock, and if web page is not loading, it's taking so much time to load, the engagement can be considered to be as bad. And when engagement is bad, automatically Google will push it down. Did you all get that, guys? How search engines rank a website on Google?
Yes. Yes.
Correct? See, there is no rocket science. Everything is very simple. Unfortunately, nobody knows this method or explanation what I have done now, and you will not find it anywhere on the internet. I'll bet you will not find anywhere on internet about this explanation. This is a concept designed by me in order to make it simple for you all to understand how search engines work. Right? So if someone is explaining this, there will be students of Canara Digital, okay, or employees of Canara Digital. Or people might have seen the videos that I am explaining all of this, and they must redo the videos. Okay. So you understand, crawl frequency makes the website to show up on the Google first page at the bottom or closer to the first page, and CTR makes the website move to the top or to the higher positions, and engagement is what is going to retain your website on these positions, right? Search engine optimization is all about improving these three metrics called crawl frequency, CTR, and engagement. What is SEO now? SEO is all about whatever you are doing in SEO role is all about improving these three metrics. And improving these three metrics is not an easy task. It involves so much of thought process. It involves few tens or hundreds of implementations. It involves so much of technical knowledge. It involves so much of marketing and selling knowledge. Correct? It involves so much of business understanding. Is that clear, guys? Everybody?
Yes.
Will you be able to explain now what makes a website, a specific website, to show up in the top by Google?
Yes.
It's scroll frequency, CTR, and engagement.
CTR and
Whomsoever
engagement.
have achieved highest number, whomsoever have achieved best score of all these three metrics are going to be shown in the top. See now, for example, look at this example. See, Jabong crawl frequency is 10, but still it is not in the first position, correct? And Flipkart, yeah, Flipkart, because everything is high, hence it is in the first position. Maybe I'll show it to you here in this table. Yeah. Now look at this, user engagement is 10, but still it is not first position. This is third position, correct? Who is ranking the first here? Flipkart, 7, 9. See, we don't want 100 out of 100 in all the subjects. Just make sure when somebody takes average of all the three, you have to be better at all three of them. Correct? So if you are just scoring 80 percentage marks, and if you're not performing in the interview in the first round and second round, you will not get hired, correct? Despite you having the highest score in the college, correct? You need to see, you don't need 100 out of 100 to get selected for the campus interview, correct? So cutoff criteria maybe 70 percentage. If you had just 70 percentage, and in this round 2 and round 3 if you're performing well, you will be hired for the role, correct? Just scoring 100 out of 100 and you will do good in the first round and second round, you will utterly fail. You will not get hired, correct? Same way, if you have to see success in the rankings, if you have to make a website show up in the top, you have to be good at all this. See, look at this Mintra, crawl frequency is just 5, and still it is ranking in the third position. And somebody who has 9 crawl frequency is ranking in the fifth position, correct? And click through rate is also 10, but engagement is worse. So now search engine optimization is all about understanding how to improve these three metrics and improving those three metrics. But ultimately the final goal is to show up the website here on the Google. Is that clear, everybody? Anybody has questions?
So,
This is how search engines rank the websites. You go and ask this question to anybody who has 5-10 years of experience, they will tell some random shit like website is popular. Everybody are popular. See, Amazon is popular than Flipkart, but still Amazon is not ranking in the first position. 1 second, everybody. Hello. Hello. Super. Salary, last month salary. 1 second. Ninnadi process and kalki 1200, 29,000. లేదు అది ఎక్స్క్లూడ్ చేసి నేను కొత్తగా అకౌంట్ పంపిస్తాను. అవును, వితౌట్ జిఎస్టీ. అవును, సర్లే మీరు ఒక పని చేయండి, నా పర్సనల్ అకౌంట్ చేసినట్టే నేను నా పర్సనల్ అకౌంట్ నుంచి మీకు అకౌంట్కి అడ్జస్ట్ చేస్తాను. ఇతనికి ఇక శాలరీ క్రెడిట్ చేశారు. చూస్తాను సార్, బట్ నేను చూసాను, నైట్ చూసినాను, అంతా చేసింది. జూన్లో వచ్చింది ఒక్క సెకండ్ నేను మీకు 10 minutes చెప్తాను బట్ 25 నాకు తెలుసు క్లియర్గా నేను ఏ మంత్ వచ్చింది ఓకే సో anybody has questions here is that clear for all of you okay so now the main task for all of us is to understand how do we improve this metrics crawl frequency for example how do we improve the crawl frequency how do we improve the click-through rate how do we improve the engagement so if we could understand this done search engine optimization is done but understanding these things itself will take nearly 20 classes yeah okay so for today what we will do is we will define crawl frequency and crawl rate okay can anybody here see since yesterday we are discussing about the crawling correct can anybody here define what is crawl frequency or what is crawling
Yes, the Google bot is reading our site.
okay so Googlebot navigating through the websites on the internet server is referred to as crawling right
Program named bot.
sorry
Through a program named bot.
yeah so you can simply call it as bot Googlebot yeah so Googlebot navigating through your web pages is referred to as crawling or reading and if it is visiting frequently to your website and the measure of that frequency is called as crawl frequency okay so if it is visiting frequently let's say 5 times a day 10 times a day 100 times a day if you are measuring the frequency of bot visiting the website is called as crawl frequency the measure of bot visiting your website and crawling your website the measure of bot visiting and crawling your website is referred to as crawl frequency and there is something called as crawl rate any idea what is this crawl rate bot frequently visiting your website the measure of bot visiting your website is crawl frequency that is done there is something called as crawl rate you guys must have heard of terminologies like run rate right run rate what is run rate what is crawl rate the number of pages bot crawling during its every visit is called as crawl rate so for example bot visited your website in the morning and it has crawled 100 pages in the morning the crawl rate is 100 it has visited your website in the afternoon and it has crawled 50 pages during its visit and it's called as 50 is the crawl rate so I'll take a beautiful example for this it's not really beautiful it could be ugly but then you might remember this forever okay so for example how many times you eat every day 4 times everybody are you all following me how many
Yes.
times do you eat every day so that's your personal thing so you don't have to give the exact number give me some number how many times 3 times so the eating rate is eating frequency is 3 so Abhishek eats 4 times a day so his eating frequency is 4 times a day and my son might eat 6 times a day and his eating frequency is 6 I don't know I'm just taking that as an example okay so now during every time let's assume all 3 times that you are eating only idlis everybody so you are eating 3 times a day so your eating frequency is 3 and let's assume all 3 times you are eating idlis only how many idlis will you have in the morning how many idlis will you have in the afternoon night is that going to be the same every time
No. No, sir.
it might vary right morning you might have 10 idlis and the afternoon only 5 and night again only 6 correct so now eating frequency is 3 times a day and eating rate is varies morning you had 10 idlis so eating rate is 10 Afternoon you had 6 idlis, eating rate is 6. Night again you had only 4 idlis and eating rate is 4. Eating frequency and eating rate. Here it is crawl frequency and crawl rate. The measure of number of times bot visiting your website is crawl frequency, and crawl rate is during its every visit it's going to crawl or read a specific set of pages, number of pages. Every time you come to the dining table you might have different quantities of idlis, correct? Morning 10, afternoon 6, night 4. Same way, when bot visits your website, it starts reading your website. It's not going to read only one page of your website. Your website might have few tens of pages. See, look at this. There's one in the morning, afternoon it might crawl 300 pages, and night it might crawl only 90 pages. Crawling is nothing but bot visiting those pages. Bot visiting those pages and crawling them. Is that clear, guys? Everybody?
Yes.
And now measure of crawl frequency and crawl states are simply called as crawl stats. Crawl stats are both these metrics put together, crawl frequency and crawl rate. Okay. So going forward, I'll be using this terminologies crawl frequency, crawl rate quite often, and you have to be well versed with all of these terminologies. Clear?
Yes. Yes.
So if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Okay. So meanwhile, I want to give a simple small exercise for today. I want you all to go to YouTube or Google or whatsoever. I want you to watch some videos or read about what makes Google to rank a specific website in the top. What are ranking factors? You will not see what I have explained, but then you might see a different explanation, and you might probably come up with so many questions to me if you are going through all of that. I want that to be happening. Okay, can you all please go through it today? Can you all please research on internet today how search engines work, or what makes Google to rank a specific website in the top?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So I was telling you, Google goes to the internet server and reads all the website that comes to its visibility and brings a copy back to Google server, right? And bringing back that copy to Google server and storing it on the Google server is called as indexing. Indexing is nothing but a copy of your website has been brought to Google server and stored. That's called as indexing. Okay, you might come across such terminologies as well. But I want you all to go through all of this and be well versed with all of these terminologies. Okay. So if we start discussing how to improve the crawl frequency, improving the crawl frequency discussion might take 1 or 2 classes. Okay. And improving the click-through rate 1 class, and improving the user engagement 1 or 2 classes. Okay. So now for today what we will do is we'll wind it up, and before winding up, if you have any questions, please ask. If you have anything to discuss, please ask, and if nothing, then we will wind it up for today. Huh? So both of these stats, crawl frequency and crawl rate together, are simply referred to as crawl stats. You are simply giving a term crawl stats, that's all. You don't have to use that crawl stats terminology. Just remember crawl frequency and crawl rate. Okay, and it's clear for everyone, right, what is crawl frequency and what is crawl rate, and it's clear what a click-through rate is also, right? It's the measure of the ratio of number of people visiting your website against number of people seeing your ad result. Correct? That is CTR or click-through rate. And how do you remember the CTR or click-through rate? Simple example is you're walking into an office or into a school or college campus. Let's assume your classroom. 100 of your friends will see you, but not everybody will wave hand at you high, correct? And now how many people are waving hand at you? Only 20 people. 20 divided by class strength 100. Because 100 people have seen you, or let's say class strength is 200, but only 100 people have seen you. So 20 divided by 100 into percentage is going to be the response rate for you, and here it is click through rate, correct? User engagement is basically if user is visiting your website and spending some time on your website, reading information on your website, clicking other links and exploring your website, or purchasing some product on your website, or inquiring by filling the form on the website. All these activities are considered to be as engagement. If engagement is good, you will have the rankings retained, correct? Crawl frequency helps you to move closer to the first page or onto the bottom of the first page. CTR moves you to the top positions, and engagement will retain you in those top positions. Yeah, and you all know the definitions of crawl frequency, crawl rate, click through rate. The abbreviation of click through rate is CTR, and then user engagement, or we call it as user metrics also. Okay, user metrics comprises study of information like time spent on the website, number of pages people are visiting. See, sometimes when you visit website, you see so many pages, right? You go from men's section to men's apparel, from apparel to traditional wear, something like that, correct? You keep visiting, exploring so many products of the website, correct? That is a very good engagement. Yeah. So, any questions, guys? Okay. So tomorrow, Dedicast, I'll try to be by 10 o'clock, or maybe even if possible by 9:50 we'll start the class. Okay.
Yes.
That's fine, right, for everybody, since you all are joining online. That should not be a problem, right? Before 10, by 9:50 or 10 o'clock max. Okay. So we'll extend tomorrow if possible up to 11:30. Yeah. Or 11:20 at least. We'll see. I'll get to know
Yes.
today, and